Life is not very fair to everyone, isn't it? We often come across this phrase from many common people in our surroundings. But again, what is the ultimate solution for it? Life is not fair. Life is not the way it is going as I desired. So there are so many complaints. But in the end, who can guarantee us that life will be fair in all respects? I think it is only we that are responsible for achieving that fairness through our karma. If we do good karma, then life quality will be better. If not, then life will be otherwise miserable and disappointing. And our karma also even does not guarantee us. In the end, it seems so complicated to me that on one side, I'm trying to make my life sorted out through proper hard work, honesty, and perseverance, and on the other hand, you may use all those adjectives to make life better, but still, life is easy for those people who don't really work hard or who really have a better access to all the resources for getting succeed in life, isn't it? And you will find so many examples in your locality, in workplace. You will see that people who really don't deserve to be promoted, they will be promoted in the higher management, and they will gain more attention from the public, whereas people who are binded with their value systems and good qualities, they will always be suffering. Challenges will be uh, poured on them, and for which they will be struggling throughout their life. And somehow life is not fair to it. It's not about honesty, hard work, or perseverance, but it's all about our mindset, like the value system. You may earn money, you may earn all those material success by end of the day, end of the life, if you do hard work, if you do your job with proper honesty. But what about respect? So that is that trap where these innocent people, innocent and simple mindset people often feel trapped, and they don't want to come out of it because for them respect is everything. Hello everyone, how are you all? This is your host Debottam, and you are listening to Better You, Better Life, a self improvement plan SIP podcast, season 1, episode number 22. As we were continuing, today we will be discussing about why life seems to be difficult for honest people. Does that really mean from the title that life is not so fair for so-called honest people, and it is always easy for people who are actually manipulative or who are actually not so hardworking, isn't it? So, or by the time you realize that life is not fair to all of us, it's too late and you can't do anything about it. So, I have seen so many talented individuals in my life, and I won't say 100% of them, but at least majority of them became exceptionally successful in their respective field because of their talent, because of their smartness. And whereas I have seen people who are equally talented, but they have simply perished, they have done nothing in life, and now they are still struggling to make a mark in the society. So how to deal with it then? After some deep thinking, I realized that the answer is not so simple and definite. It varies from individual to individual. The only option that you can guarantee is your commitment to yourself. Yes. When you are a continuous student of learning, when you are continuous student, or your commitment to lifetime principle of learning, I think that how it will make your life easier, right? On the other hand, though people who are not so hardworking enjoying the perks of their resources, but it will not be permanent. But it is also true that for equally deserving hardworking people, that when life will click, whereas that key part is depends on how much we are prepared, before entering another slumping phase in our life. So it's all about preparation and being little smart to react to the correct situation. So life sometimes present very huge challenges for honest people, and the reasons behind these can vary. Some potential explanations for why life may seem difficult for honest individuals brings me to the first aspect is the moral dilemmas and ethical traps. Honest people often find themselves facing moral dilemmas and ethical quandaries that can make life more challenging. They may encounter situations where their integrity and honesty clash with societal norms or expectations. You might see that in many movies, the protagonist who is really innocent, but situation sometimes in front of him is so much difficult that he struggles to take the correct decision, and he forcefully takes the wrong decision because situation is way more powerful compared to his innocence. Making principled choices in such situations can be difficult and may come with your personal and professional consequences. And most of the time, we are simply not ready, or we are simply not strong enough to face the consequences. So it's all about your dilemmas and coming out of it. This brings me to the second aspect of why honest people feels that their life is so difficult sometimes and unfair, is that the attribute of trust and betrayal. See, honest people have a very simple policy. They work on mutual trust. Trust is the biggest currency for them. And integrity. Integrity is something that develops their character, and they continue their journey based upon it. Now, these are the only two currencies that they value the most, even more valuable than money. However, they experience disappointment and betrayal when others do not reciprocate these values. Obviously, because when you don't trust someone who deserves that quality, or when you do not respect somebody's integrity and always look them from the lens of suspicion, then definitely they will find it difficult to proceed. Being let down by other people they trust can be emotionally and mentally draining for good people. This may lead to a perception that life is more difficult for those who prioritize honesty. I am also a victim of it, because the moment you put up your trust on somebody, and when somebody betrays you, it's equally difficult to trust someone again because of the fear of getting cheated. That brings me to the third aspect, that limited opportunities and advancement. See, in certain environments or industries, dishonesty and unethical practices may be more prevalent, leading to a disadvantage for honest individuals. For example, Ponzi schemes, which you see these days online, which claims that you make easy money in lesser amount of time. But in those Ponzi schemes, even honest people also get trapped, because they think that their life is difficult. So if anything coming so easily, why don't try for it? And unknowingly they fall into the trap of it. They invest their hard-earned money, and later they lose everything. They lose their mental peace, they lose financial hold on their lives, and also they lose many relationships. It happens in middle class society, and it is really a disadvantage for honest individuals. They may face hurdles in their career advancement, because I have seen some people are so straightforward that a management doesn't like straightforward people. So honesty is not a direct ticket for your promotion. Instead, you have to be little smart, you have to be little manipulative, but on a positive sense. So career advancement, to seize the certain opportunity, if they refuse to compromise their integrity. They don't like to compromise on their integrity, and that's the reason that they suffer the most, especially from people who resist their path of development. This can create a sense of frustration and the perception that success is harder to attain for those who choose to be honest. I am also in a similar phase. Whenever I see incompetent people are thriving, whereas people like me are struggling to make a mark. So, does that indicate that to reach a higher level of success in life, you need to have some negative skills also? I think yes, in my opinion also, because life is not straightforward as it used to be 30-40 years back. So you need to know those negative skills not for practicing them, but to know for your own self defense. You should know who is trying to trap you, who is trying to frame you or conspiring against you, so that you can safely navigate through it and coming out victorious. So this needs some introspection if one may not know if that is the norm or not. Then it brings me to this next complex of navigating complex system. See, in 25, this is the 22nd century, and this modern society operates within complex systems such as bureaucracy, politics, or legal frameworks, which may not always align with the values of honesty and integrity. I think fuck integrity. If that is the case, then all those need not to struggle in life, isn't it? Honest individuals may find it challenging to navigate these systems without compromising their principles. Bureaucratic red tape, corruption, or unfair practices can add to the difficulties they face. It is just makes the life of an honest person miserable. So that's why people find it very easy to tamper with honesty. Unfortunately, in today's generation, these qualities are not valued anymore. But champions at the top who have reached that ladder of success in their respective field will boast about all these qualities. But they themselves, they don't really practice it, because emotions and honesty, both if mixed, can become more difficult for people to take decisions. I think somewhere that logical sense is gets affected. That is the reason why people like to stay away from all these qualities. That brings me to the fifth aspect of why honest people feel life is so difficult for them, is that lack of recognition and appreciation. Obviously, when your work is valued, your work is appreciated within a group of individual, let me correct myself, within an intellectual group of individual, you always feel good when you're admired for your talent and hard work, but they may not always be recognized or appreciated in a world that often rewards expedience and self-interest, because unknowingly you never know you are hurting someone or you are coming in between somebody's negative motive. Then you will be risky. For example, in my organization, which has become too bureaucratic these days, individual success hardly matters to anyone if the collective team is not successful. So in that case, out of 10 members, if one or two members is doing the actual hard work and bringing the output, but overall as a team, if you are not succeeding, that no matter how much hard work you put on, you will never be appreciated or recognized. So honest individuals may feel overlooked or undervalued as their contributions may not immediately apparent, or may be overshadowed by more manipulative and deceptive individuals. On a fucking positive note though, despite these challenges, it is important to remember that honesty is a virtue and a reflection of one's character. While it may make life more difficult at times, it also provides a solid foundation for personal growth, meaningful relationships, and a sense of self-worth. In my opinion, honesty can foster trust, integrity, and long-term success, even if it requires navigating through some obstacles along the way. I don't know whether to support the idea fully or become one of those crooks. But on the other hand, I remember my father used to say in my childhood that it is because of these good qualities only that this world is being managed. Otherwise, this planet would have been doomed long ago under corrupt people. I hope he's right and what he taught was right, because honestly speaking, in this episode, it's all about I wanted to reflect on why honest people suffers the most, whereas dishonest people do not suffer in their life is easier for them. But also it is true that comfort which dishonest people enjoy for a long time may not be sustainable in the sense that whatever resources they have, that is limited, right? And somewhere now, or after 4 years or 5 years or sometime in their lifetime, they will realize, and things are bound to change. So that's why it is very important that we have some patience and perseverance and just focus on our qualities, so that we can move ahead in life with our heads held high. This was a reflective episode from me. I hope this episode will spark some kind of question on your mind, some value to your life. Next week, I will bring one more reflective concept in order to become better version of ourselves. Till then, enjoy your weekend. This is your host Debottam. Thank you for listening. Signing off.